Hello, manifestors. So, I know I made a video about this topic before, but trust me, you don't want to miss this one. And I strongly encourage you to watch all the way to the end. You won't be disappointed. So, since I'm still asked this question quite often, let's talk about it today. How to get rid of a third party. So this is what we are going to discuss today. Please subscribe, like, and share the video so more people who need the answers to this question can have access to this video. The reason it's not a bad idea to make several videos about the same topic is that there are many different ways to answer a question, and maybe my previous videos on how to get rid of a third party didn't resonate with you, but this one might. So, let me ask you a question first to answer your own question about how to remove a third party. Do you think that by focusing on anything that you don't want will help you to remove that thing from your life? Ask yourself this honest question. Pause the video if you have to and ask yourself the question. Do I think that by focusing in any way, in anything that I want to remove from my life, is going to actually remove it from my life? Now, you have to agree that not only because you've read Neville, if you've read Neville, but any teacher, any new age, new thought teacher, whatever you want to call them, anyone, from the oldest ones to the more modern ones, have you ever heard them, ever read them saying that, yeah, you guys, if you don't want something in your life, just think about it every so often, or every day. Think about it, and you will get rid of it. I'm sure you've never heard or read such a thing, have you? Because I haven't. And I've read a lot of new thought teachers, the old ones and the more modern ones. A lot. Hundreds of them. Never read that. Never. Not just Neville, right? Never read that from any teacher. And why is that? Because it doesn't work, right? Any success teacher could never, ever teach you, honestly, to focus on something that you do not want, because that's not how you are going to remove the unwanted in your life. So, what do you think happens when you are focusing on your third party? What do you think happens when you are thinking of them, when you are bothered by them, when you are disturbed by them, or even obsessed with them? Well, I'm sorry to say it, but you are manifesting more of them. This is why, guys, part of becoming aware and awake, part of learning about this law and practice the techniques, the teaching, the things that we learn, is to learn to control our mind rather than letting our mind control us. Because we know that as the asleep person that we used to be, we were controlled by our mind. We had almost zero control of our mind, of our thoughts, daily thoughts, the moment we woke up to the moment we fell asleep. That's a given, all right? The average asleep person walking around is not in control of their minds. We know that. But us, since we landed on this manifesting community, since we decided, well, I'm interested in this, I want to learn more about this, I want to learn how to manifest my desires consciously, well, the number one thing we need to train ourselves to do is to control our minds. And if you learn to control your mind, you will be able to control yourself to not focus on your third party. If you still think more often than not of the third party, you are not in control of your mind. And being in control of your mind, as Neville said, it's paramount to your success. So the number one tip that I would give you is the minute you start focusing, you start thinking, you start obsessing with the third party, ask yourself the question, okay, is what I'm doing right now helpful to get my desire? And answer that question truthfully. Truthfully. Don't even deny the fact that you are focusing on the 3P right now, but ask yourself the question, okay, is what I'm doing right now helpful to manifest my desire? Is it going to help me in any way, shape, or form to get closer to my desire? So most likely, if you are honest with yourselves, you are going to hear a voice saying, no, it is not helpful. Therefore, you ask yourself another question. Okay, it is not helpful. It is not going to bring me closer to my desire. Therefore, what should I do instead? Ask yourself the question. What should I do instead? Should I remain in this focus? Or should I quit it? Should I cut it off right now and start thinking about something else? So again, you are going to hear a voice that says, yeah, you need to cut that off. You need to focus on something else right now. So you answer your own question and you're saying, okay, yes, I need to focus on something else. What should I focus on? And then you answer your own question. Well, what is it that you want? What is your desire? Is your desire, I want my SP to be married to someone else? So you answer the question, right? You answer your own question again. No, that's not my desire. I don't want my SP married to someone else. Okay, so what do you want? If you're not sure, maybe you have that little voice saying to you, well, don't you want to be married to your SP yourself? Huh? Is that what you want? Don't you want your SP to love you? Don't you want your SP tell you every day, I love you, I want you, you are the best thing that has ever happened to me? Oh, yes, that's what I want. Oh, okay. So guess what you're focusing on then? That's what you focus on. You think about all day long, you think about your SP wanting you, loving you, telling you that they love you, that they desire you, that you're the best thing that has ever happened to them. How hard this is. Is it hard? Well, my dear friends, if this is your desire, it shouldn't be hard, should it? Guys, the reason I'm speaking this way, the reason I'm making this video the way I'm making this video, it's because I had a third party, a big one, a huge one. Huh? I had a third party, and I'm not going to tell you my story again. Just watch the other two videos where I tell my story for the whole video. I had a third party. But did I ever let my mind go there, entertain the third party? Freaking no. No. Of course not. What did I do? What I just explained right now in this video. I focused on what I wanted. I focused on hearing my SP choosing me, loving me, telling me that he wanted me. that I was the love of his life. And because I focused on that so much, you think I had time to think about a third party? She was gone. Even though obviously my logical brain knew she existed, but she never came to mind. She never bothered me because she was gone in my mind. I did not ignore her in the sense like pretend that she was not there, that she didn't exist, but she didn't exist in my focus. She didn't exist in my thoughts. That's where she didn't exist. So, by the way, when you hear the phrase ignore them, that's not the best thing to say, because a lot of people think about ignoring as pretending it doesn't exist, and I don't like that. You know, your logical brain knows that 3P exists. We're not telling you to pretend that they don't, but we are telling you to focus on what you want. And by focusing so much on what you want, even though your logical brain knows that 3P exists, it will never go there. Your mind will never go there, entertain scenarios with the 3P, because you are too busy thinking about what you want instead. Is that clear? Let's see what Neville has to say on the subject. Imagination and faith are the only faculties of the mind needed to create objective conditions. The faith required for the successful operation of the law of consciousness is a purely subjective faith and is attainable upon the cessation of active opposition on the part of the objective mind of the operator. It depends on your ability to feel and accept as true what your objective senses deny. So, for those who are saying that Neville is hard to understand, here is saying that you can attain your desire upon the cessation of active opposition, right? So it means you have to cease to think of the opposite of what you want. In the case of a third party, you have to cease to think about them. And then he goes on to say, it depends on your ability to feel and accept as true what your objective senses deny. All right? Your objective senses is what's happening in your 3D. You have to be able to accept as true what you imagine and stop accepting as true what your senses tell you, what your 3D shows you. I really hope that it's clear once and for all, because I don't think that a third-party video was ever made this way. So guys, the best way to get rid of a third party, it's not pretending that they don't exist. It's not even that at all, okay? Your rational mind will know they exist, okay. But the best way to get rid of a third party is to focus on what you want. And the more you focus on what you want, the less you are going to focus on the unwanted. Because by focusing extensively on the wanted, on the desire, you're not giving any room for the unwanted. That's the magic trick, guys. That's the only thing you need to do and know. Just focus more on what you want, and you have much less time and energy and room for thinking of what you don't want. A lot of you, well, first of all, you're not practicing the techniques enough. You're not imagining enough. You're not using your imagination enough. You're not practicing meditation enough. So you should definitely do more of that, and your spiritual mind will expand. But you can't grow spiritually, self-concept wise, if you do not practice those two things, meditation and imagination. So you have to know that, right? But for the time being, if you are new at this, at least, at the very least, learn to focus on what you want. And you have much less time and room and energy to focus on the unwanted. Flee the unwanted like the plague. The moment you catch yourself thinking of the third party, thinking of anything that you don't want, switch gears. Talk to yourself. Say, okay, no, do I want to think about this? Is it beneficial to me to think about this? If the answer is no, get out of here. Would you enter a room on fire? I guess not. You would just run out from there ASAP. Do the same thing the moment you catch yourself thinking about the third party. Run out of there like you would from a house on fire. Quit it. Cut it off. Leave it behind. So guys, if you do what I'm telling you here in this video, I promise you, you will think less and less of your third party until you think about them no more. And therefore, that third party of yours will be gone from your reality. Thank you for listening and watching, guys. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share this video that is so important. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.